Chapter 33: Korean Fusion and Life Choices. Marcus woke to the sound of sizzling coming from the kitchen and the familiar aroma of garlic and sesame oil that always meant his father was cooking something special. Sunlight streamed through his childhood bedroom window, and for a moment he could almost forget about eviction threats and magical academies in another world entirely.
Marcus, breakfast.
His father called from downstairs. Marcus padded down to the kitchen to find his father still cooking at the stove, while the table overflowed with an impressive spread, different jams, butter, and an assortment of banchan, the small side dishes that made every Korean meal feel like a celebration. His father moved around the kitchen with enthusiasm.
Chop those for me, please.
His father said, pointing to a pile of washed green onions while whisking eggs in a large bowl. His movements were precise, confident, the hands of a professional chef who'd never lost his love for cooking.
Are you making Korean fusion Spanish omelet?
Marcus asked, picking up the knife and beginning to chop the scallions into neat, uniform pieces. He watched his father's whisking technique, always amazed by how such simple actions could become art in skilled hands.
You got it, my boy.
His father replied with obvious pleasure.
Your mother left an hour ago for her early shift at the hospital, and I decided to open the shop a little late today. Wanted to make you a proper breakfast before you head back to campus.
He grabbed the chopped green onions from Marcus and tossed them into the whisked eggs with a flourish. After whisking a few more times, he poured the mixture over shallow fried potatoes that were already golden and crispy in the pan. The eggs immediately began sizzling and curdling around the edges, filling the kitchen with rich aromas.
Sit down and start on the banchan.
His father instructed, sliding perfectly toasted bread onto Marcus's plate.
This will be ready in 2 minutes.
Marcus settled into his familiar spot at the kitchen table, the same chair he'd occupied for countless family meals over the years.
Dad, about yesterday.
Slun.
His father interrupted gently, not taking his eyes off the omelet.
I know what you're going to say. And before you say it, let me remind you of something.
He expertly flipped one half of the omelet over the other, creating a perfect golden crescent.
When your mother and I came to this country, we made a promise. We wanted you to have every option available, every door open. So if you want to quit the pre-med track, then quit that. But don't quit college altogether.
Dad.
Marcus started, but his father raised his hand with a slight smile.
Just take classes that interest you, or ones with funny names that make you curious. Give it another shot with subjects that might speak to your heart.
His father's tone carried that gentle but unmistakable authority that had guided Marcus through every major decision in his life, firm enough to command respect, but loving enough to feel like a warm embrace. Marcus took a bite of the omelet as his father set it before him. The Korean-Spanish fusion was incredible. The scallions added a sharp, fresh bite that cut through the rich eggs and crispy potatoes, while subtle hints of sesame oil and garlic elevated the entire dish.
This is amazing,
Marcus said, savoring another bite.
But Dad, I've been thinking a lot about…
Thinking too much, that's always been your problem.
His father interrupted with a knowing smile, settling into his own chair with a cup of coffee.
You know, when your mother and I first came here, I thought I had to have everything figured out right away. Open shop, make money, provide for family. Simple plan, yes?
Marcus nodded, chewing thoughtfully.
But you know what I learned after many years of mistakes and small successes?
His father leaned back in his chair, cradling his coffee cup.
Sometimes the path changes while you walk it. I wanted to be an engineer back in Seoul, did you know that? Had my whole life planned out engineering degree, good job, predictable future.
I didn't know that,
Marcus said, genuinely surprised.
Life had different plans.
His father continued with a philosophical shrug.
But that doesn't mean the engineering knowledge was wasted. I use it every day at the repair shop, supply chain management, even figuring out the optimal customer flow.
They ate in comfortable silence for a moment, the familiar rhythm of a shared breakfast grounding them both in family tradition and love.
One more semester.
His father said finally, his voice gentle but determined.
That's all I ask from you. Take some different classes. Maybe something in business, since you seem to have developed an interest in that recently. Maybe some literature classes, you always loved stories when you were little. See what speaks to your heart.
Marcus felt the weight of both his worlds pressing down on him like a physical force. In Valdres, he was potentially saving his family and maybe contributing to a war effort that could determine the fate of an entire kingdom. Here, he was just another confused college freshman who was disappointing his immigrant parents after they'd sacrificed everything for his opportunities.
What if I'm just not cut out for this?
Marcus asked, quietly voicing the fear that had been gnawing at him for weeks.
What if I'm not smart enough or dedicated enough or whatever it takes?
His father set down his chopsticks and looked at his son with the kind of serious attention that made Marcus feel like the most important person in the world.
Marcus, you want to know what I see when I look at you?
His father's voice was steady, confident.
I see someone who works harder than anyone I know. You helped on that farm every summer without a single complaint. You taught yourself things that I never could have imagined understanding. You have ideas and insights that make me think, where did this brilliant kid come from?
But what if?
No what-ifs.
His father said firmly, but not unkindly.
One more semester. After that, if you still want to change paths completely, we'll figure it out together as a family. Your mother and I didn't sacrifice everything we had so you could give up the moment things get difficult. We sacrificed so you could have real choices, not just the limited options that fear allows you to see.
Marcus felt tears threatening to spill over. His father's unwavering faith in him made the secret of his double life feel even heavier, like a stone lodged in his chest that grew larger with every lie he had to tell.
Okay.
Marcus said finally, his voice barely above a whisper.
One more semester.
His father's face lit up with genuine joy, and he reached across the table to ruffle Marcus's hair like he used to when Marcus was small and the world seemed so much simpler.
Good boy.
His father said warmly,
Now finish eating before it gets cold. And next time you come home, bring those roommates of yours. Your mother has been asking about them constantly, and you know she wants to feed them until they can't move.
That evening, they took a family dinner at Marcus's favorite Korean barbecue place, a small restaurant that had become their traditional spot for special occasions. His parents asked detailed questions about college life, friends, and classes, and Marcus found himself carefully crafting responses that were technically true for the real world, while omitting everything about Valdris magic and the growing complexity of his double existence.
You seem more mature lately.
His mother observed, watching Marcus expertly handle the grilling duties.
More thoughtful. College is changing you in good ways.
If only you knew, Marcus thought, turning the meat to prevent burning.
And more secretive. And more secretive.
His father added with a slight smile,
But that's normal for college students. Growing up means having parts of your life that belong just to you.
As they walked back to the car through the crisp evening air, his father put an arm around Marcus's shoulder in a gesture that felt like both protection and blessing.
You know, son,
His father said quietly,
whatever's been bothering you lately, whatever you're working through in that busy mind of yours, it's going to work out fine. You're stronger than you think and smarter than you give yourself credit for.
If only he knew, Marcus thought again, how literally true that was becoming in another world entirely. If only I could tell him about the magic and the academy and the family that depends on me there too. The next morning, Marcus packed his bag for the return trip to campus, carefully folding clothes, while his mind raced through everything waiting for him. He carried both his father's unwavering faith and the growing weight of secrets that were becoming harder to bear with each passing day. In just a few hours, he would fall asleep and wake up in Valdris to discover whether Master Timon's offer would save his family from eviction. He would find out if Tom's magical training would begin, if the academy partnership would become reality, if his innovations could make a difference in that medieval world. One more semester in each world. He could manage that balance. He had to.